Kicking off CNN Student News on this Friday, May 23rd, I'm Carl Azus at the CNN Center. Welcome to the show. First up today, an attack in China. It happened at a market in Xinjiang. This is a region of northwest China. It's a place that's seen a series of attacks recently. This one involved a number of explosions. Chinese news media say 2 SUVs crashed into the market on Thursday morning. Explosives were thrown out of the vehicles, which eventually exploded themselves. At least 31 people were killed, more than 90 were wounded. China called this a serious act of terrorism, and President Xi Jinping said the people responsible would be severely punished. It's not clear yet who that is, but China has blamed some previous attacks in this region on an Islamic separatist group that lives there. We're less than 2 weeks away from the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season. These storms can form at any time, but they're most likely to spin up between June 1st and November 30th. Predicting them is like predicting the weather. It's not an exact science. This is what Superstorm Sandy looked like as it approached the northeastern U.S. in 2012. It made landfall there late in that season, on October 29th. 2012 was very active for Atlantic storms. There were almost twice as many of them as experts predicted. This time around, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, forecasts things to be relatively quiet, but
the news is that there will be hurricanes. And I can't tell you where it's going to hit or how many will hit, but the number is 3 to 6. 3 to 6 hurricanes in the water in the Atlantic. The average is 6.4. Last year we had 2. So major hurricanes 1 to 2. You should have 2 to 7. Last year 0. Let's go back to 2012. This number was 19, 10, and 1. That's the real number, 1. What was that number 1? Sandy. So you only technically need 1 storm to make a big season, and there will be at least 1. Near normal, 40% chance. Below normal, 50% chance. Above normal, about 10% chance of that. So there's where the numbers come from. It doesn't matter whether we get 1 or a dozen. It matters which one hits land and what land it hits.
Time for the shout out. Which of these is typically a foodborne illness? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it MRSA, Ebola, E. coli, or influenza? You've got 3 seconds. Go. E. coli is a type of bacteria found in the stomach and intestines. It can be dangerous when it enters the food supply. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
that's because certain strains of E. coli, when they contaminate food, can cause abdominal cramping, serious intestinal problems, fever, or kidney failure. An estimated 265,000 Americans get infected from this every year. A dangerous strain of E. coli might have made its way into beef products sold in 9 states. 11 people are thought to have gotten sick from it. 10 of them ate at restaurants that received contaminated meat. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says 1.8 million pounds of ground beef have been recalled. An official says it's currently being removed from store shelves, but some of it has already sold. Dr. Sanjay Gupta tells you what to look out for.
If you have any ground beef in your freezer, it says 2574B, that's the lot number that's of concern. You want to throw that out. Don't take any chances. E. coli is the strain of it's a particularly nasty player. Just 100 cells can make somebody ill. And if left untouched, it'll double in number every 15 to 20 minutes. So you can get to billions of cells, fairly quickly. And that's why people are really being very cautious about this. Don't take any chances. Even if you don't have this ground beef, even if you've thrown it away, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you're grilling, use a thermometer. That could be the best advice I give you all weekend. Use a thermometer. Take a look at the numbers there. That's what you're going to be shooting for. I use a thermometer. It helps keep me and my family safe. You should do the same thing.
While grilling out is one thing associated with Memorial Day in the U.S., it's observed next Monday, but the holiday wasn't always called Memorial Day. Back in the late 1860s, it was known as Decoration Day, recalling when flowers were placed on the graves of those who died in the Civil War. Over the decades and conflicts that followed, it became Memorial Day, a time to honor and remember all U.S. servicemen and women who died in wartime. Church services, parades, speeches, a wreath laying at the Tomb of the Unknowns, These are some of the events that take place every year on the last Monday in May. Symbolically, it's also seen as the beginning of summer in the U.S. From south to north, here are three of the schools watching us today. It's time for the roll call, starting in the volunteer state. Oak Ridge High School. Great to see you're watching in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It's the home of the Wildcats. In the Show Me state, show me the Warriors. We see them at Fox High School in Arnold, Missouri. And the Lumberjacks are online in the land of 10,000 lakes at Bemidji High School in Bemidji, Minnesota. Thank you for watching. Space travel is expensive, it's dangerous, and it's fascinating. Fewer than 600 people have ever done it. That is nothing considering the billions who've inhabited Earth since Yuri Gagarin first went into orbit in 1961. So there might be some questions you have about it. That's the thinking behind a CNN iReport project that asked students what they'd ask an astronaut.
CNN, this is Mission Control, Houston.
Station, this is CNN. How do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. My name is Steve Swanson. I'm a NASA astronaut. Right now I'm living aboard the International Space Station, which is in orbit around the Earth, about 250 miles up. One, it's a fun experience. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride in a way. In the beginning of the roller coaster ride where you're going up that steep part, click, 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 and it's a little tension builds. It's great, and then boom, you go. You can feel the acceleration of the engines just pushing you down into their seat as you take off. And the whole thing lasts about 8.5 minutes. And after 8.5 minutes, we're going 17,500 miles an hour, and we're up in the Earth's orbit, spinning around. Exercise is different up here. We don't have gravity. We have 3 different types of equipment. We have a treadmill, we have an exercise bike, and we have a resistive exercise device, which is like lifting weights back on Earth. We do have that planned out. We will be using commercial craft like SpaceX or possibly Boeing. Sierra Nevada. Also, in Sierra Nevada is a reusable vehicle. So there's one right now that's on the drawing board. It has plans, and it's a possibility, and that is reusable. The Orion spacecraft that NASA is building is not reusable also. It's another capsule. And of course, we are relying on the Russians until we get one of ours done. But I do hope in the near future we'll have at least a U.S. vehicle. And then after that, I do believe going back to some sort of reusable one will help bring the cost down and will help make it more affordable for everybody else to come up here. I'm not really scared. I don't think most of us are scared. We know there's dangers involved, but we've also been trained to handle all the possible scenarios that have come up. The number one thing we all like to do is look out the window. It's such a beautiful thing to do, and looking down on Earth is just a fantastic way to spend your time. Thank you.
Square footage, number of bedrooms, features, things people ask about whenever they buy a home. You don't usually hear numbers or see curb appeal like this. Yep, it's a castle, and it's for sale in Kentucky. Square feet, 12,000, average is around 2,000. Bedrooms, yes, double digits. Features, it's got those too. The owner's putting it up for sale because the ultra-luxury market is said to be in ultra-high demand right now. The price? $30 million. That's not easy money, but it buys a real estate. Prospective owners would have to mind their manner, but anyone with that kind of dough can get an honorable mansion. I'm Carl Azus. One thing we have to mention, there will be no show Monday on the Memorial Day holiday. We'll see you next Tuesday on CNN Student News.